Olive was standing in the middle of a huge circus ring. She was wearing big shoes, a silly wig, and a large red nose, just like the one worn by a clown in a poster she could see nearby.
Oh, I'm at the circus.
Suddenly, someone shouted.
Oh, look out!
A cheeky little monkey wearing a red hat swung past, snatching her red clown's nose from her beak.
Hey, come back!
You'll never catch him. He stole my red nose too.
Said a very sad-looking seal, dressed in a clown costume.
I've been trying to get my red nose back all day, but he's just too quick.
Oh, I'm Olive, and you were on that poster.
I am the great Grimaldi, the funniest clown in town. Or at least I was. I don't feel very funny now, not without my red nose.
Olive was sad to see Grimaldi so downhearted.
I'll get your red nose back for you. Then you can be the funniest clown in town again.
It's not possible. That cheeky monkey is always out of reach.
Olive looked up at the monkey sitting on a trapeze, high up in the roof of the circus tent. He was wearing a red nose. Then she saw the circus cannon nearby.
A cheeky monkey too high to reach. A circus cannon? I think I may have an idea.
You can get my red nose back?
Grimaldi asked.
Yes, wish me luck.
Suddenly, the cannon went boom,
Wow!
shooting Olive up into the air like a rocket.
Pecking! Red nose, here I come.
Olive was ready to snatch the red nose back, but as she flew over, the monkey ducked, sending Olive shooting over his head and bouncing off the sides of the circus tent. Luckily for Olive, Grimaldi swung into view on another trapeze and caught hold of her just in time, much to the now watching audience's delight.
Oh, thanks, Grimaldi.
Olive looked down and saw the red-nosed monkey balanced on a high wire below them.
Okay, one red nose coming up.
Olive let go and dropped down onto the high wire, catapulting the surprised monkey back up towards Grimaldi, who caught him by his feet.
Gotcha!
Cried Grimaldi. Suddenly, the monkey threw the red nose up towards Grimaldi.
Hey, catch!
Called the monkey. Grimaldi caught the red nose, but he had to let go of the monkey's feet, and the monkey dropped down onto the high wire, sending Olive catapulting.
I have it!
Olive looked down.
But who has us?
They tumbled towards the circus ring below. Luckily, they landed in a safety net.
Who are they laughing at?
They're laughing at you, Grimaldi. You don't need a red nose to be funny. You're Grimaldi, the funniest clown in town.
You're right.
Just then, Olive heard something falling from above. She looked up and plonk! The monkey had dropped her red nose, and it landed right back on Olive's beak.
Bravo, Olive. You make a great clown.
Well, I do like a bit of clowning around.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Pecking? Actually, I've been clowning around in the circus.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was outside in the rain, right in the middle of a large muddy field. She was wearing a maroon-coloured shirt and was holding an umbrella to keep her dry.
Oh, Pecking! I'm wearing a sports kit.
There was a goal at each end of the muddy field, and behind one of the goals there was a large tree laden with apples.
Hey, number 7.
Shouted a tall pig with a clipboard.
Hello, I'm Olive.
I'm Sean Curlytail. I coach the Richmond Hockey Hogs.
He said, pointing towards a group of pigs all wearing the same maroon kit as Olive.
And you must be our missing team member.
Oh, how exciting!
Problem is, you're not the only thing missing. Today, I forgot to bring the hockey sticks and hockey balls. We can't play hockey without them.
Olive looked at the big apple tree.
Some apples? My umbrella? I think I may have an idea.
Olive organised the team into a large pyramid with hair at the very top. Olive hooked her umbrella around a branch that had lots of apples hanging down from it. She shook the branch, and all the apples fell off it and tumbled to the ground.
Oh, this is all well and good, and apples are very tasty. But how does this help us play hockey?
Well, a hockey ball is small and round like an apple. And a hockey stick is a long straight stick with a curve on the bottom, a bit like this umbrella.
Oh, brilliant idea, Olive. But to play a game of hockey, we all need a stick. Excuse me.
Piped up a small pig.
I'm Sophie Swine, the captain of the Hogs. Why don't we have a penalty shootout? We only need one stick for that. Great idea,
Said Sean, and he quickly organised the competition. Each pig would get one shot on goal using an apple as the ball and Olive's umbrella as the hockey stick. Sophie Swine volunteered to play in goal. Everyone took turns to shoot. Some shot too high, some shot too low. But every time, Sophie would get in the way of the apple ball and eat it, stopping it going into the goal. For one shot, she even did a backward somersault, landing on her feet and gobbling up the apple.
Well, you're the last player, Olive. No one has managed to get a goal yet. So if you score a goal now, then you're the winner.
Olive took a long run up and swung for the apple ball. But the pitch was so wet, she slipped. Her shot had lost all of its power. Olive watched as the ball rolled slowly towards the line. But instead of saving the apple ball by eating it, Sophie simply let it roll through her legs and into the goal.
Goal!
Shouted Sean.
Olive's the winner!
The other pigs cheered and lifted Olive high into the air.
Dick, I'm glad I won. Sophie, why didn't you save my shot?
Sorry, I would have done, but my tummy's too full of apples.
Said Sophie before letting out a huge burp. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Dick, actually, I've been playing a wonderful game of hockey.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
The sun was high in the sky, and Olive found herself in the middle of a desert. She was wearing a strange hat.
Oh, Dick, what a big fancy hat. But where am I? And what are these big spiky things? Are they some sort of plant?
Suddenly, something long and squiggly appeared right behind Olive. When she noticed it, she was so surprised she stumbled back straight into one of the spiky plants.
Dick! Ow! Ow! Me bottom! Me bottom! Oh!
I'm sorry. Please let me help you.
Olive sighed, relieved.
I'm Olive. Thanks so much for pulling out those horrible spikes. I didn't hear you coming. That's why I got so surprised.
Hola, I am Reptilina. I am a rattlesnake. Sorry that I scared you.
That's okay. I could see you're not scary.
Whenever I try to make friends, they always get scared away. Other rattlesnakes have rattles on their tails, so you can hear them coming. But mine, it don't work, see? People get scared of snakes, especially when they can't hear them coming.
Well, we'll have to find something that can make your tail sound again.
Olive looked around the desert. Soon, she spotted an old bicycle horn.
Oh, this will make a great new sound for your tail.
She carefully attached the horn to Reptilina's tail, and Reptilina tried it out.
It's a nice sound, but not quite right.
What about these?
Olive had found some bells on the ground. Reptilina tried them instead of the horn.
It's a bit closer, but my tail should rattle, you know.
Olive looked around once more. She spotted some rubbish left after a campfire.
An empty can of beans, some small rocks, and a stick. I think I may have an idea.
Olive put the small rocks and the stick inside the can. Then she attached it to Reptilina's tail.
Give this a try.
Olive, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
Suddenly, Olive and Reptilina heard some music. Two men in big hats appeared. Both were playing guitars.
Hola, we are local mariachi band, and that is beautiful sounding rattling tail you have. Why, thank you.
Replied Reptilina.
Hey, our drummer, he is very ill after eating a mega spicy burrito, and now we can't keep our rhythm.
Said the other mariachi.
But maybe you, your amazing rattling tail, could join our band. I think I'm too shy.
Reptilina said sadly.
Don't be shy, Reptilina.
Said Olive.
I'll even join in myself.
Olive picked up the horn.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be the best sounding rattle tail ever.
Olive played along with Reptilina and the mariachi band until the sun was setting.
Thanks so much for getting me my rattle back.
Said Reptilina.
And thanks for finding us a new rhythm section.
Said the mariachi.
That's okay.
Said Olive.
I was a bit rattled when I first arrived, but now I feel just fine.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I was in a band with a rattlesnake.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive found herself in a village street with lots of shops.
Oh, just the hat for a rainy day.
Olive spotted a postman sitting on a bench nearby. He looked rather sad.
Hello, Mr. Postman. I'm Olive. Are you okay?
Not really. The 3 parcels I was supposed to deliver today have fallen out through this hole in my post bag, and now they're lost.
If we retrace your steps, maybe we'll find them.
Yes, we could try.
Olive and the postman walked down the village street and saw a baby elephant in its pram, giggling and playing with something. It was a brown parcel.
Ah, that's one of my missing parcels.
Oh, the baby thinks the parcel is its new toy. Maybe it would like to swap the parcel for a tickly feather.
Olive plucked a feather from her wing and tickled the end of the baby's long nose. The baby started to laugh and Olive swapped the parcel for the feather.
He loves it. Okay, where to next?
The mechanic's workshop.
Soon, Olive and the postman were standing outside the mechanic's workshop. A car was sitting high in the air on a lift. And on top of the car roof was another parcel.
Oh dear, the mechanic is on his lunch break. How are we going to reach that parcel?
Olive noticed a wheel hubcap lying on the floor.
I think a spot of frisbee throwing should do the trick.
Olive threw the hubcap towards the parcel. Whiz! Clunk! It knocked the parcel off the car roof, sending it toppling down into the postman's waiting arms.
Oh, good shot, Olive. One more parcel to find.
And I think I know exactly where it is.
In the centre of the village was a fountain, and bouncing around on top of the jet of water was the final parcel.
Oh dear, we're never going to catch it.
Olive spotted a tap nearby. She turned the tap off, and the water stopped gushing from the fountain, sending the parcel dropping down into the postman's arms.
Oh, but Olive, look. The rain has washed all the addresses off the parcels. How will we know who they belong to? They all look the same.
3 similar-looking parcels that all smell different. I think I may have an idea. We can work out where the parcels need to go by smelling them. That way we can guess what's inside.
Great idea, Olive.
Olive smelt the first parcel.
This one smells of flowers.
It must be for the flower shop.
Olive was right. It was a bunch of flowers. Olive smelt the second parcel.
Ah, this smells of oil.
It must be for the mechanic's shop.
Olive was right again. It was a new oil can. Olive smelt the last parcel.
Ooh, that smells of a sheep. Oh, it must be wool for the tailors.
The tailor was very pleased with the postman for delivering his parcel. And to say thank you, he sewed up the hole in the postbag to make sure the postman never lost any parcels again.
Thank you for all your help, Olive.
That's okay. I think I may have a nose for delivering the post.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Olive.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been helping deliver the post.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing in the middle of a large field with white lines painted on it. There was a net across the middle. She was wearing a little white skirt and a sun visor. Close by, two very tired-looking giraffes sat on a bench. Olive was about to walk over and talk to the giraffes when all of a sudden a ball went flying past her head, followed by another and another.
Oh, please stop. You're going to hit me.
Sorry, man, I didn't see you there.
Olive saw a curly-haired toad wearing white shorts and holding a racket.
I'm John McIntoad, and I'm trying to train for an important match, but my training partners Virginia and Wade are too tired to play.
Oh, I'm Olive. If Virginia and Wade are too tired, maybe I can help you train.
Well, sure. Do you play tennis?
I don't even know what tennis is.
You cannot be serious. This is a tennis court. This is my tennis racket. Surely everyone knows what tennis is.
I'm afraid not. Will you teach me?
Sure, I guess I could. First you need a racket like mine. It's what you use to hit the ball.
John gave Olive a lovely pink racket from his bag.
Now you go down to that end, and when I hit the tennis ball over the net to you, you try and hit it back, okay?
Olive swung her racket a couple of times to get ready. John threw the ball high above his head and hit it over the net. It was going so fast, Olive couldn't reach it in time. John tried again and again, but each time he hit the ball so hard that Olive couldn't hit it back. Then John smashed the ball really hard. It whizzed over the net and hit Olive right on the wing, making her spin around. Into the net, feathers flying everywhere.
I've broken the net.
Exclaimed Olive. John McIntoad ran over and stuck a long strip of sticky plaster on Olive's wing.
Don't worry about the net. I hope I haven't hurt you, Olive.
Oh, no, I'm fine, John. But I'm afraid I haven't given you much tennis practice.
Olive looked around and suddenly thought of something.
Some feathers. A ball. Some sticky plasters. I think I may have an idea.
Olive picked up one of the balls and carefully started to stick feathers to the ball with the sticky plasters. Next, she asked Virginia and Wade to hold up the net.
Oh, that's a bit higher than before.
Once the net was in position, John tossed the feather-covered ball above his head and hit it over the net. With the feathers on it, the ball was now going slower and Olive could reach it. She hit the ball back this time to John.
This is what we call a rally,
said John, hitting the ball back to Olive. Olive and John hit the ball back and forth, high and low, fast and slow. They played the tennis rally all afternoon until eventually John hit the ball too low and it landed in the net.
Ugh, I think that's enough practice for one day,
said John, breathing heavily and looking exhausted.
Thanks for the game, although I'm not sure I'm really very good at tennis.
Well, you were amazing at featherball. You've invented a whole new game.
Okay, have I? Oh, let's hope it doesn't catch on. I don't want to lose any more feathers.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I invented a new game called Featherball.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was standing underneath a big tree. Next to it, lots of small aeroplanes were parked side by side.
Gig, look at all these aeroplanes.
Cried a little voice. Olive looked up and saw a tiny baby bird falling down from the tree. It was trying to flap its wings and fly. She just managed to catch the baby bird.
I'm Olive. Are you okay?
I'm Barry.
Squeaked the little bird.
I was trying to fly, but I'm not very good at it.
Well, you're only a baby. Where are your mum and dad?
I don't know. I went for a nap, and when I woke up, they'd flown off with the rest of the flock along with all my brothers and sisters. Maybe you could help me fly and catch up with my family.
I'm sorry. Ostriches can't fly.
Oh, what am I going to do?
Olive looked over at the planes and noticed one of them taking off into the sky.
I'm sure no one will mind if we borrow a plane for a little while. After all, it is an emergency.
Olive and Barry walked over and jumped into the cockpit of one of the planes. Inside, she found a long scarf and some goggles and put them on.
You know how to fly a plane, Olive?
Asked Barry.
Not really. But how hard can it be?
Olive saw a big red button in front of her. She pushed it and the engine roared into life. Olive steered the plane towards the runway.
How do I take off? Maybe it's this big lever.
Olive pulled back on the lever. The plane accelerated down the runway and they soared up into the sky.
We're flying!
I know!
It did take Olive a bit of time to get the hang of flying the plane.
Flying a plane is harder than I thought.
This is the best fun ever! You!
Eventually, Olive brought the plane under control and Barry spotted something above them. It was a flock of birds.
Look, I can see my mum and dad.
Barry waved up to his family.
Barry, what are you doing in that plane? Land down there. We'll meet you on the ground.
Just one tiny problem. I don't know how to land.
What are we going to do?
Olive looked up at the flock of birds and then at the long scarf around her neck.
A scarf? Some birds? I think I may have an idea.
Olive turned off the engine and the propeller stopped. She took off the scarf and held it so it trailed above the plane.
Okay, I want everyone to grab hold of this scarf and keep flapping those wings.
All the birds in the flock grabbed hold of the scarf with their feet. They kept flapping their wings and the plane stayed flying.
It's working, Olive.
The birds flew the plane back down, setting it gently on the ground, right next to the other planes where Olive and Barry had found it earlier.
Phew! Oh, thanks, everyone.
We didn't know we'd left you behind.
Said Barry's mum, giving him a cuddle.
Yes, I was sure I'd counted all our chicks before we left, but I must have counted wrong. What a surprise.
It was Olive who helped me. She's my hero.
Thank you, Olive.
That's okay. I had a flapping brilliant time.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Kirk, actually, I've been helping a baby bird fly.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing in a park surrounded by tall buildings with lots of windows. Nearby, there were some kids riding about on BMX bikes.
These buildings look very tall.
She was wearing a blue hooded tracksuit and shiny silver trainers.
Your nice hoodie.
Said a voice. Olive turned around and saw two boys. They wore blue tracksuits and silver trainers, like hers.
Yo! Hello, I'm Olive.
Yo, Olive. I'm Ash. This is Sam.
We're two of the super fast feet crew, the flyest dance crew around.
Oh, what sort of dancing do you do?
Street dancing, and we're competing in a big competition today.
Problem is, our flipper Darren is stuck in a traffic jam. Without him, we can't do our routine, so if he doesn't make it in time, we can't enter.
What does a flipper do?
We'll show you.
Sam pulled out his phone and hit a button to play a video. It was the Super Fast Feet crew performing a routine.
That's Darren in the middle. He's about to flip. Hey, oh, yeah. Hey!
Yo, Olive, you're wearing a hoodie and trainers just like ours. Maybe you could be our flipper for the competition.
Well, I'd be happy to try, but flipping looks really difficult.
It's not easy. You need to be able to jump really high.
Olive looked around and noticed that the kids with their BMX bikes were doing some impressive tricks and jumps. But one boy had a puncture and was pumping up his tyre.
A bicycle pump. Trainers? I think I may have an idea.
Olive walked over to talk to the boy.
Excuse me, can I borrow your bike pump, please?
Yeah, sure.
Olive stuck the end of the bicycle pump into the sole of her silver trainer and began to pump. The shoe started to inflate. She did the same to the other one until she had created a pair of super bouncy super trainers,
Ooh, okay. I'm very tall.
Try a flip.
suggested Ash. Olive started to bounce higher and higher, and then she did a double backflip.
That was tight.
It certainly was.
Let's go, Olive. The competition starts soon.
Darren was still stuck in traffic, so Olive performed with the Super Fast Feet crew. The routine was going really well, and Olive did some amazing flips, bouncing on her super trainers. Soon, it was time for the big finish, a quadruple backflip from Olive. She bounced higher and higher, and then straight into the flip. But Olive had flipped too high. She lost control and couldn't stop flipping. Just then, Darren arrived. He rushed into the arena and saw Olive somersaulting through space. Darren ran over, did a massive forward flip and caught Olive mid-air. They both landed back on the ground between Ash and Sam, and the audience went wild.
Yo, Olive, that was amazing.
Olive's final flip was so spectacular, it helped the Super Fast Feet crew to win first prize,
Yo, thanks for standing in for me, Olive.
said Darren.
Yo, it was no problem.
Said Olive.
I was one super flying ostrich.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been dancing and flipping with a street dance crew.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
It was a big room with red carpet, lots of pictures on the walls, and a funny-shaped object with 3 metal legs on display,
Oh, hey, this all looks very posh.
said Olive. She was in the foyer of a cinema. Olive went up close to look at the funny-shaped object on its metal legs.
This is a film camera.
Said a man as he walked into the foyer. He was wearing a gleaming white suit with black buttons.
Oh, hello, I'm Olive. You look very smart.
Nice to meet you, Olive. My name is Steve Battenberg. I am the cinema manager. And tonight is the big film premiere of our new blockbuster movie, A Winter Wonderland.
Oh, great. I love a good blockbuster.
So do I. But I lost the last scene of the movie, and I still need to make all the popcorn. Everyone will be arriving soon. What am I gonna do?
Well, why don't I help you?
Great idea, Olive. Hey, maybe you could make the popcorn for me.
So Mr. Battenberg showed Olive how to make the popcorn. You had to put corn into the machine and turn it on.
Well, I should be okay with that. I'll just put the popcorn in here.
But she put the entire bag of corn into the popcorn machine in one go.
You can never make too much popcorn. Well, I think we're all sorted.
But what should we do about the last scene of the movie? Without it, the audience won't know how the film ends.
What happens in it, Mr. Battenberg?
It's a beautiful winter's day. The snow is falling from the sky, and the snowman winks to the camera and smiles.
Olive looked around the foyer and spied the film camera.
A film camera? Your white suit with black buttons? I think I may have an idea. Mr. Battenberg, does the film camera work?
Yes, I believe it does. To record, you just press the button with the red circle on it.
And action!
So Olive and Mr. Battenberg began filming. But something wasn't quite right.
Oh dear, we still don't have any snow.
Suddenly, the popcorn machine started rumbling. Pop, pop, pop! All the popcorn came flying out of the machine into the air.
Oh, no!
Said Mr. Battenberg.
I think you put too much corn in, Olive.
Don't worry, it's just what we need. On camera, it looks exactly like snow.
So Mr. Battenberg winked and smiled to the camera and looked just like a snowman on a beautiful snowy winter's day.
Oh, Olive, what a great idea. But what about all the popcorn? How are we going to serve it to the customers now?
But the customers loved the idea of snowing popcorn and simply caught it in their popcorn buckets. They were all very excited as the film was about to start.
The film is better than the real thing,
Whispered Mr. Battenberg.
and all down to Olive, the director.
That really was a great film.
Said Olive.
Although, I had a pretty good idea of how it was going to end.
They both laughed. And as they did,
you're right.
Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've been a film director.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.